So today they put out an update here for Black Ops 6 that literally just changed this game's, I guess, like trajectory just as a whole. They literally just made like one simple change to like every single weapon in this game, and it literally just changed Black Ops 6, making it 10 times easier. But before we do actually get fully indulged into the patch notes of today's video, don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And that's how we're into covering this brand new update. All right, so they came out with a huge update today here in Black Ops 6, but this update was basically just giving us the stuff we were supposed to get with Season 1 Reloaded, or at least I don't know if we were supposed to get it with Season 1 Reloaded or that they just announced it in the Season 1 Reloaded patch notes, basically saying that they were giving a lot of guns like huge like weapon motion just reduction to it in terms of the recoil control and like the aim and idle sway, just literally across every class in the game. Like every weapon category got a huge buff to it in terms of like not the mobility but the motion of the gun and just recoil factor. And also just depending on what category of class you use, that they also did say that it does range from 30% to 75%, which is basically the reduction amount for each category. I would assume that depending on maybe like whether you're like the pistols probably will have like the smallest reduction to it, I'll be honest with you, and then maybe like the ARs, SMGs, and almost like the snipers probably have like a big reduction to it. So that'll probably be like the biggest categories to actually get the most, I guess, like reduction to it, because those are like the three most popular things to the game. Or it could be like the other way around to where they absolutely did not get the most. So basically it literally says weapon reduction. They reduce the visual recoil with all weapons, especially full auto guns. If you don't know what visual recoil is, it's basically just when you shoot your gun, like the kick that it has to it right there. Sometimes that can be like just a lot and sometimes just literally all in your face, and it obviously never works out. It's basically like having bloom to where like you feel like you're shooting straight, but then all the reality you really aren't shooting straight. So they reduced that to where the visual recoil effect is basically little to none. And I know PC does have the advantage of visual recoil just in general, because the FOV slider is practically better on here than it is on the console. So having that visual recoil effect be reduced, that was a W in their book. They also reduced the turn sway on all weapons, especially on higher magnification optics. So basically whenever you turn like this way, your weapon won't, you know, just move to the left and right too much. So you can actually basically center right. That's basically what the whole aim and idle sway is in this game, is basically just help with centering and just trying to get that aligned as quick as possible, so that, you know, you can actually sit here and actually shoot straight. So I'm fixing the aim and idle sway and making it to where like you can actually move around and actually have it be to where like you practically aren't moving too much. Definitely it's one of the best things that they could have done, just for, like aggressive players, I was saying. The more aggressive you are, the more you're going to be moving around and just turning your weapon a lot. So I thought they made the aim and idle sway a lot more, I guess straight, or just a lot more easier to align. It really does come in clutch for the aggressive player. So that's something that they never actually adjusted before. So I think that's actually a great thing they could have done. They also reduced the gun kick on higher magnification optics on all weapons except for snipers. That does make sense. Of course, snipers wouldn't get that, because I don't think snipers even really have like, I guess, recoil control to it. Obviously when you shoot it'll kick back, but I don't think you can like really control that too much, because it's a sniper. So really can't do too much in terms of the recoil control on the weapon. But I'm pretty sure every sight in this game now has a less recoil to it, so you can actually, you know, shoot your sights a lot more straight, and I guess overall just be a lot more accurate in Black Ops 6 in terms of like whatever gun you're actually using. Me personally, I really won't feel that effect, I guess, too much, because I only use red dots in this game. Like I usually use like the Kepler microflex and like the, what's the other one? I think it's called the Merlin Mini. But that's like the only sights I really use in this game, whether it's on the AR or just on any other gun in the game. That's really all I really use. So I really probably won't feel that effect too much, or maybe I will, to be honest. I really don't know how that gun kick control buff would affect those type of sights. They're probably like the bigger sights in the game, like the 4 zooms, the 2x zooms, like those bigger ones where you like really can zoom in. You probably really feel those a lot. So those will probably be like the main sights to actually sit down and test, you know, and just to see if they're actually the better one. They also reduced the default idle sway on all weapons except for snipers. So basically, I don't think I have a tapping zone that's going to help with the idle sway. So basically I can just aim here and you see the gun literally don't move. Usually it would move like left and right, or just move like in the circle like this. Like it'll move like very tiny. It's usually what it would do before, but with the buff here that basically reduced it, by reducing it, they simply just be like eliminated. They completely got rid of it. You clearly saw me aiming down the sight here. My gun literally did not move. It stayed completely still literally the entire time. So that buff actually is kind of like a big deal, because aim and idle sway, or just idle sway in general, has been something in Call of Duty for a very long time. So it practically being gone is actually like, insane. And of course, depending on the category you use, keep in mind that a lot of these guns, the percentages of each effect on these guns are just a lot different depending on what weapon category you're actually in. So for all I know, this could be completely different for assault rifles, and like it could be a lot more on assault rifles or LMGs or just anything else. But I know they did say that snipers did not get that buff, which is kind of insane as well, because snipers have some insane out of sway to it. So I could have sworn snipers were also getting that buff to the added to them, but I guess not. But over time, and definitely, you know, testing out this buff will definitely be like just something that you test naturally. It's not something you probably can sit down and really can test, but I mean, you can, but you know, testing it naturally probably be like the better thing to do. Sometimes naturally just doing things or just naturally playing the game really does help a lot in terms of just even, you know, testing a lot of these buffs out. And I can't believe I actually just sat here and got a nuke. Oh my god. I teed up just a little bit right there. I got a little quiet and was like, let me secure this nuke real quick. Further reduce the idle sway while firing on all weapons except for snipers. So they basically gave us recoil control. Basically, they literally gave us free recoil control with that. So basically, the weapon won't move whenever you're just aiming down sight. Like, remember I said before how it'll just simply just like move slowly. That's completely going no matter what you do now. Like, obviously it's most likely there just a little bit, because they did say reduce. They didn't say that they completely got rid of it. So reduce basically means it's still there, but to a certain extent it also kind of feels like it's not there. So you literally have no idle sway whatsoever, no matter what. So however you shoot this game, that's basically where your bullet's gonna go. If you're shooting straight, you're gonna shoot straight. If you're shooting a little circly, you're also gonna shoot a little circly. That's just the way it goes, especially with the whole idle sway being basically gone. However your gun goes, that's how your gun is going to go. All right, Matt, we can call this nuking right now because the game is literally about to end. I can't be too mad about that, baby. Baby. They also reduced the weapon motion when it comes to the bomb translation and additional idle sway penalties as a result of walking or changing stance in ADS. So basically, no matter what you do in the game in terms of sliding, I guess jumping, hopping over walls, mantling, army movement, whatever you do, you literally have zero weapon movement whatsoever. So your gun is literally always still no matter what. And then of course, as you do all those movements and having that, you know, weapon motion be completely eliminated, you also have the perfect balance between zero aim and idle sway. So you would just always literally shoot straight, like your gun just doesn't move at all. Like, because basically the way they had it before, where they had it like a lot more realistic, because obviously if you're in real life in war, your gun's going to be moving a lot because, you know, it's real life obviously. But they completely just eliminated that whole factor, I guess, of the realness. Oh my gosh, Section 4 has no recoil, bro. Oh my gosh, I think the sight buff in terms of them, you know, getting rid of the whole gun kick control on the magnification on sights, I think it worked for this one, bro, because this gun is not moving. Hold on, if I can get to another gunfight and like really test this out, this is kind of insane. Oh my god, oh my, this thing doesn't move. They just made every gun in the game the absolute laser beam. They just made it so easier for people to actually control the weapons now. And to a certain extent, I'm not mad about it, because now, to be honest, everybody can just basically shoot straight. So now whenever you have to be completely accurate in this game, and of course, who doesn't love, you know, a zero recoil gun or just a zero recoil factor of Call of Duty? But basically we get it for free now, so you can probably add whatever you want on a gun and barely get any pick to it. Oh my god, this thing doesn't move. Holy shit. But they also removed additional layers of hip devotion, which cause crosshair to bounce while firing. That one basically explains it all in itself. They just removed it to the point where your crosshair just won't move that much or move at all. So basically you can center a lot more easier and just center a lot more confidently, I should say. Basically, if you know what centering is basically just this crosshair in the middle. You basically put it to where you want to shoot. So like, you know, before you fully aim down sight on a person, you know, you just basically put the crosshair to them and basically just have your gun shoot directly at them. So if it's something that you haven't done in Call of Duty or just something that you haven't, I guess, like learned yet, I suggest learning it just so you can actually make it a lot easier for you. They also pretty much just explain what aim and idle sway is, and I did explain that before. But they also have, I guess they have delays when it comes to aim and idle sway. They have an aim and idle sway delay on all weapons, which is now, I guess, 2.2 seconds. So I'm assuming it takes 2 seconds right there for it to actually, I guess, kick in, which, okay, that's not bad at all. By the time that happens, you probably can either get a kill or just basically reposition your gun. It says aim and idle sway delay on snipers now fully remove idle sway rather than reducing it by 50. So snipers have no aim and idle sway, which that's great for them, but also it's kind of concerning because it's like, I don't know, that kind of makes snipers just a little OD. But apparently the aim and idle sway on snipers were like just a problem or something that I guess they didn't like or they just weren't used to. So I guess that'll help them be a lot better. And it says target laser now improves aim and idle sway to 2.9 on all weapons. Okay, so lasers basically make the delay of the start for aim and idle sway a lot longer. So I guess if you have a problem and you still see aim and idle sway, you know, occurring a lot and it's actually messing you up, then I would suggest, you know, run on a laser. But besides that, you really won't even need it for real, because like I said before, that 2-second delay basically does help you, because by the time you even get out of that 2-second delay, or before you get to the 2-second delay, you either be in a different gunfight, or you could just re-aim down sight and, you know, basically just either get into a different gunfight or be like in a whole different round. But we also got a couple like little other mini fixes when it came to the whole patch notes. Nothing too crazy or nothing like too important to even sit here and talk about, but they also did reduce a lot of these guns headshot multipliers. So this is basically just, I guess, read this little part right here, because it says in most cases weapons will require one fewer headshot at all ranges to improve time to kill. The majority expectation is SMGs in the max damage range. As we are wary of letting these TTKs get too fast, and to compensate, we are increasing SMG's range to help them with keeping that consistent edge at short ranges. And then the CHF barrel, which is basically a headshot barrel, attachments have also adjusted on all updated weapons to maintain a step up on the new default value. So they basically nerfed the headshot multiplier on all SMGs, or I guess some SMGs. I might just go through the list and actually just check it out. But for them doing that, they made the TTK on the SMGs a lot faster, so now they also just kill insanely quick up close, which I guess that does make sense. But I mean, you can still always get that range back no matter what, or I guess that TTK headshot multiplier back no matter what, because they also did buff the CFH barrel, which like I said is the headshot barrel. So you know, you can always get some of these buffs back, and I think this is one of the buffs that you definitely can get back for surely. But that's also a lot of stuff that you probably have to go through to even simply get that buff back as well. So a lot of the ARs got a little range buff or range nerf to them, but also got like a damage buff to them. I think the same thing with the SMGs. SMGs got, well, the opposite with the SMGs. SMGs got damage nerfs and then got range buffs to them, which is actually kind of weird, but I guess that's how that works. Granted, SMGs kind of needed, because SMGs really did struggle in this game for a very long time. But all in all, I think this patch update was definitely a W. Them doing that whole aim and idle sway and just like recoil control thing on the gun was like, I mean, I guess it's the best thing that they could have done, but I mean, it just changed Call of Duty Black Ops 6 honestly for the better. It made it a lot easier for people, of course, but it also just kind of proves it that you kind of have to just make your aim a lot more sharper and just definitely hit your targets, because not everybody has no recoil in the game. So if you weren't able to control your recoil before, here's a free opportunity to do it right here. You can learn it simply by just playing the game now. Whenever you can just learn it now without even attachments. Then of course, once you put attachments on it, it'll just change everything that you have on your gun, making it just the absolute beam. But that is enough Black Ops 6 for me today. I got a nuke last game, which I didn't expect to get. That kind of threw me off by like just a lot. So I'll take the W for that. The XM4 or just this sight as well, just zero recoils too, so it does affect every sight in terms of that magnification. Gun kick control being simply just reduced. So that's the W. I want you guys to comment down below what's your thoughts on this update right here. If you guys, I guess, like agree with what they did, or just even like what they did. But if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. And I will see you guys in the next one.